My first deal was my biggest deal. I was driving, and there was this neighbor. I said, you know what? Let me try this. What is drive for a dollar thing people are talking about? So I went behind the neighborhood, and I saw these old signs. Mind you, I don't even know why I went to the neighborhood. I don't know why that first turn. There was something just directing me somewhere. And I saw this old for sale by owner sign. So I called the seller. Seller moved to Michigan. My first time being on the phone with the seller, I don't even know what to say. All I said was, "Sir, hey, I saw your sign, and I'm an investor. I'm a buyer. I want to buy a property." And at that time, he's heard the youngness in my voice, and something told him to take a change on me. In his mind, he's like, "Man, this person is not serious, but he's young. Let's see how he's about to disappoint me."
And we're back with another episode of To the Moon, and we're here today with one of my favorite Astro community members. I'm going to stop saying that. Actually, I'm never going to stop saying that because they're always my favorite, because you don't get on the show if you're just like, look, there's an 80-20 rule, okay, in life. And these are the 20, right? These are the 20%ers, guys. These are the guys who get shit done. They're the ones who make it happen. All right. These are the ones who actually take action, make it happen, and they get there. Right. So I have had an opportunity to speak to Bella many times in our Zooms, in our community Zooms. And his story resonates with me so deeply, because this man is not just, this isn't his first rodeo, right? He's probably thinking, man, you remember that? But I do. I remember when he came in. You know, this man was full of confidence, but life had gotten hard for him, and he had to build himself back up. And this is a story of resilience. So I want you guys to listen, because if you're in your darkest moments right now, my friends, that's when you shine the brightest. So I would love to welcome you all. Bella, welcome to the moon, brother. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to the show. What's cracking, man? How are you today?
This is so surreal. I'm doing phenomenal right now. I'm in Washington D.C. Since 2020, I haven't really left the state where I was at, and I'm in D.C. right now. It's snowing outside, crazy, but it's so surreal to be with you, Jamil, the one and only that does it the best out of everybody. And man, I remember exactly watching before I even joined Astro. I spent a week or two just watching the Moon podcast, people that's killing it, seeing testimonials before I even joined. Right. And now I'm here watching on the Moon podcast. It's crazy. Less than a year. That's hard to process right now. But yeah.
But you deserve it. You deserve it. And I want to kind of take us back and rewind a minute, because, you know, there was a moment when you came on, right? And I could tell, like, because I'd been there, right? When 08 happened, you know, I had made millions of dollars, and in a very short amount of time, I went to negative, right? And it was like this point where we lost all of our family homes. You know, my mother's included. I lost my home, but I had leveraged my mom and dad's home because they did a personal guarantee on my BS. Mm-hmm. And, you know, now we're, you know, mother, father, sister, husband, dog, cat, me, in a 2-bed, 1-bath, right? And like how the despair of that moment to me I'll never forget it, right? But it was my fuel to push me, like, you know, as far as I've been able to accomplish, right? That's why I say we shine the brightest in our darkest moments. And I believe that when you came on, you had had a setback. What happened?
A lot of stuff happened, Jamil. So it was something I was dealing with I went to a 2 years worth of depression. So 2019, I remember when I celebrated my 22nd birthday. At that time, I was going to Georgia State University. I was a junior at that time, if you remember correctly. I was a junior in college. Mind you, before that, I was making, you know, six figures, you know, at the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, you know. I started.
What were you doing? What were you doing making six figures?
I was doing real estate.
Okay.
Wholesaling.
Okay, so you were already wholesaling. Like you understood the model, you got it, you had figured it out, and then what happened?
So there was this deal. It was a deal that was in a country club. It's a country club that's called Bears Best Country Club. And mind you, this was a time where 2017, 2018, no, 2017, 2018, 2019. So around those time, wholesaling was not really uh, as known as now, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I remember when I first started wholesaling, it was I saved up 5,000, right? So 5,000. I remember I was sat down, I was working a job, my first job. It was after I graduated high school, and during that time, my thing was not entrepreneurship. It was more I was going to work and during that summer, and the goal was to make to the league because I was playing football at that time, and I had this chip on my back to prove myself, that I'm still gonna be a great football player, right? So at that time, I was training. I was going to school. At that time, there was a school called Georgia Gwinnett College. I was going to while I'm going to school. I was going to work training. So I was so focused on football. But one day I sat down, just became real with myself, a guy that's 5'9", playing the position I was playing. And it's like, okay, I was like, okay, hold up. I still want to be a entrepreneur because entrepreneurship was always been in my mind, right? And I knew working a job was never my thing. Just ever since I was 8, I was young, being raised back in Africa, back home. I was being an entrepreneur.
Where is home? Like, what part of Africa are you from?
I was born and raised in Senegal. West
Wow.
Africa.
Okay. My brother Akon.
Yeah, there we go.
Amazing. Oddly enough, I'm Indian, but both of my parents are born in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, where colonialism did a lot of shifting of people around the globe, and so I have African roots myself. And oddly enough, right? And so I have actually visited Dar es Salaam. I've never visited India, which is interesting, right? So like, yeah, super interesting, but. So you're from Senegal, you're 2019, you have this real conversation with yourself where you're like, bro, you're 5'9", you're in shape, but the chances of you making it to the NFL are like small. You have this desire to have a big life, though. You don't see that you're going to just be a 9-to-5 guy. You can't stomach that. You can't swallow that. You've made the decision that that's not your life path. Right.
No.
So you start wholesaling, you're making money, you make $5,000. Then what?
Yeah. So it actually was 2017. I sat down. It was a 30-minute break. And I don't know if you ever work a retail job or any type of job.
I did. I worked in a clothing store. I worked in the clothing store once before. It was terrible, bro.
So
I'd be like, you look good in that shirt. Oh, those pants are so. Can you imagine, man?
Yeah.
Hated
it. That 30-minute break, I sat down. I was outside the booth. At any grocery store, I don't know if public grocery store, if you ever been, there's outside those black chairs, those black booths. So on my break, I sat down and just started reminiscing. Because I was working in a public accumulator in that area. It was middle-aged, retired, made well, and I was a great conversationalist in a way. And people would kind of talk to me. I do this, I do that, they do this and do that. And I just aspired to do better, because I saw my mom was working was working at the warehouse, right? My dad working hard, mom, dad, they brought as immigrant families, typical immigrant family. So I sat down as the oldest son. I was like, there's a lot going on, and I need to be this much for them to be able to retire my parent, just as a thank you for having all this opportunity to my hand. So what I did was I was getting paid $300 a week. $300 every week. Yes, $300 a week because I was making $9.50 an hour at a time back in 2017. And what I did was I was getting school refunds, right? And there was college refunds, and plus that I was saving up money, so I saved up $5K. So at that time, I was watching YouTube videos on real estate because it was either real estate or affiliate marketing. Those were the two hot things at that time.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
So I looked up real estate, and there was this guy called Phil, right? And Phil Punis, I can't pronounce the last name, but I watched certain videos. He was explaining how he was homeless and all these short things explaining. So I saved up 5,000, and I spent I think $2K to join his mentorship.
Okay.
And me, I'm a type of, if I'm focused on, I'm a quick action taker, right? So what I did was, of course, I didn't have no money for marketing at that time. It was paid marketings and FE, what is it called again?
Like SEO and pay-per-click.
SEOs and all these sort of things. So great thing is, sometimes like when you drive and God talks to you, I don't know how to explain. And my first deal was my biggest deal. Uh, and how this deal came about was I was driving, right? So it was just one day I was just driving for no amount of reason. And there was this neighbor. I said, you know what? Let me try this. What's the drive for a dollar thing people are talking about? So there was this neighborhood behind a high school here called Collins Hill High School. So I went behind the neighborhood and I saw these old signs. Mind you, I don't even know why I went to the neighborhood. I don't know why that first turn. There was something just directing me somewhere. Just something. And I saw this old for sale by owner sign. It was old. I mean, it was beat up.
Yeah, sun damaged, like
Yeah,
faded. Got
beat
it. Yep.
So I called the seller. The seller was living in Michigan. Seller moved to Michigan. And at that time I called, this is my first time calling the seller. My first time being on the phone with the seller. I don't even know what to say. All I said was, sir, hey, I saw your sign and I'm an investor, I'm a buyer, and I want to buy a property. And at that time, he's heard the youngness in my voice, and something told him to take a change on me. In his mind, he's like, man, this person is not serious, but he's young. Let's see how he's about to disappoint me, right? So got the
Well,
deal.
you think about it. That sign was so faded, nothing had happened, right? So he had no action, nothing was going on. All of a sudden, this young cat calls him. He's like, pretty sure don't know what you're doing, or probably can't perform. But he's like, I got nothing to lose, so let's go.
Go.
Shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. So I offer him the property. He accepted the offer. So deal's on the contract. Now what? So what I did first thing for the next day, at that time, my little brother and sister, they were super young. I mean, they were young. They're 19. At that time, we went out to the property. It was mold damage. What I did was one of my friends also brought a leaf blower. I kind of tried to clean the mold, vacuum the house.
Oh my God. Never do that, dude.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
I did all that. But long story short, because it was a desirable school and it was behind the school. So what I did, I listed a property, the cheapest property in that neighborhood, right? So what I did, my strategy was I listed the property as a flat fee listing. And when I listed the property as flat fee listing, I woke up the next day literally with 32 missed calls. 32 missed calls.
Wow.
And there was this Indian guy, I remember, I tell that story. He said he want to meet me at the property, right? He's ready to sign. He's ready to buy the property. He want to meet me at the property. And mind you, this was the next day. Got to the property. He was driving a gold Honda Odyssey, right? And he showed me a $2 million proof of funds. $2 million proof of funds driving a 2002 Honda Odyssey.
Hey, listen, man, I roll around in a a Bronco sometimes. You can't judge a book by its car.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's but so was he real or not?
Real.
Yeah.
So at that moment in time, got his sign, set closing the next week. And long story short, I walk out with $47,000.
Hey, pow. What's funny is that's the exact number I made on my first deal, funny enough.
Really? Oh, that's crazy.
Bro, $47,000 changed my entire game, changed my whole world. It was 40 because it was actually a $50,000 profit, but there was an attorney who got to get paid. So I made like $47,000 in change, but like 47K was my first deal. Yeah. And it changed my life, right? Because I realized I was like, wow, there's nothing that I can do out there, even with my education, that's gonna ever pay me like this.
Nothing.
So I had to just go all in. But so what's next? Because this is you're like in Act 1 right now. You're like peaking here. What happened?
So mind you, at that time I was working at Publix, making $300 a week, right? And $300 a week was good money. I was grateful for everything I was getting. I made $47,000 my first. So mind you, I made what I would make in a year in just one deal.
Yep.
So I was 18 at that time, and guess what? I took off, right? So it was more okay. Boom, boom, boom. Literally deals after deal. We closing. Right? I was doing SEO. It was mostly SEOs, and I had my own site. I was paying lead for ads at that time. I was
pay per click,
Spains, and so I was paying money on these ads. So a lot of the money that was coming, I was focused. Every money I get back to the business, right?
Yep.
And I was that mind.
Hamster wheel. You got to spend to get, spend to get, spend to get, spend to get. And then you get months where you spend and you don't get.
Yeah. Months you spend, you don't get, right? So it wasn't the SEO heavy, but great thing was 18, normally I didn't have the mindset of spending the money or spending on lavish things. I was driving, I called it the silver bullet at that time. It was a Honda Civic 2000, 2008 Honda Civic. I called it the silver bullet. You know, that was my car. That was the thing I was driving. And I was
my
selling
first car was a Honda Civic as well, by the way.
Wow, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But yeah, Honda Civic, right? And going to school, I mean, straight A's. I mean, I was focused on school, focused on my real estate business. That's it, right? And at that time, there was one property that changed. That I think that property is the one that reason when I'm back now, my life changed. So this property was it was two people getting divorced. Husband and wife can't see eye to eye. They cannot see eye to eye, right? And the way I was able to kind of negotiate the deal, they both signed the contract. I did more like a subject to opportunity on this one. And because there was water flooded and stuff, I listed the property, right? So mind you, this was in a neighborhood that is not rent. You can't rent in the neighborhood. So in that property, I listed the property. People come in and out, you know, no one's gonna buy. So there was these two people. They were the property twins, right? They were twins, and they came with a guy named Keith, right? So the reason that property is important is the reason why my life changed now, right? Mind you, this was 2018, 2019 time, right? So the property got on the contract. The people that bought it, these twins, they bought the property from me, and they fixed it up and all, and they was trying to do a buy and hold situation, but turns out you can't rent the property. So they didn't make nothing on that deal. They probably lost on closing costs and everything. But they remember him from that property because they saw a young guy, you know, how did he make this work and get it? And then from that one deal, we closed a lot of deals together.
So you worked with this group of buyers, these twins for a while.
Yeah.
How did it get bad? Like how did they go wrong?
So that one, the property that I sold, the first one I sold them?
No, because when I first met you, you were like, dude, I just like lost everything.
Yeah. So how did it go wrong? This is where it's going to be interesting, because this is where, okay, whenever I touch anything turns to gold, right? Meaning I'm closing deals. I never had that situation where, you know, is I can fail a deal anyway. I was on fire.
Cocky. You're cocky too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cocky. So there was this deal. It's called the deal. So basically, the person was going through a divorce, and the deal was in a country club, right? So I got a deal under for $440,000, and in that same street, this was custom built homes. They sell for $800,000. You know, it's a fix and flip, $900,000, all those sort of things. So when I got a deal on the contract, it was another subject to situation. Mind you, I'm doing subject twos. I don't even know the how do I say to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And this was my second subject to deal, right? But the thing was, I never got what I was doing. I would basically get make the new LLC for that specific property,
okay,
and get it under contract with that LLC and do a quick claim deed. The quick claim deed was not recorded properly.
So you couldn't get title insurance.
Yeah, I couldn't get none of that sort of things, nothing. And I thought everything was done properly. So now every time there's closings, there's always something new, right? Price break. I spend money, right? This happens. Okay, there's a lien on the property. Oh, he needs $6,000 for the lien to get released. I give him $6,000, right? Lien to get released. So long story short, a lot of my money was going in and out, in and in. And then we were supposed to close. I found a buyer. We were supposed to close. And the contract, the buyers, the COVID hit. That was the first time COVID hit. And buyers were uncertain. People don't know what the market, the buyers back out, contract expired. Now we're suing this deal. He never signed a new addendum to, you know what I'm saying, a new contract extension, all sort of things. Long story short, 2 weeks supposed to be closed, turned to 2 months, 2 months turned to a year. Long story short, dude sold the house behind my back. The lien was never recorded properly. Sold the property behind my back and sold it for $600,000. Moved to Florida and got married. And mind you, around this time, all my money went to the deal. everything I had.
Damn, so
Everything I
bankrupted you. Bankrupted you.
bankrupted me. I never saw it coming in a day of my life. And mind you, around this time, mind you, I live like I'm broke, live with my family, my parents, and all sort of things. So every money I get went back to the business because the goal was always bigger, right? And that was when I'm also tried to put my first month payment at a new apartment I got. At that time, I had a girlfriend at that time. My first, we got in a relationship, and it was a month or two into the relationship. And I told after close, I'm paid the whole year, everything's straight. Mom, everybody's straight. Because my wholesale was supposed to make $220,000 that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Never happened. And it turned into how do I respond to the situation? And I had to borrow some money, just to hold me down, wait for the refund to repay back my ex at that time. And things turned to left, now it's like, okay, what do I do? Now I'm going to class school. I can't concentrate because what happened to me is never said I had to hold it all in because no one knew what I was going through.
Right.
Nobody knew what I was going through. And during that time, I stopped doing class because I could not concentrate. And I'm the type of person, if I can't do something 100%, I'd rather not do it. So I stopped going to class. I went from a 3.89 GPA to a 2.7.
Oh, dang it.
Stop going to class, right? And during that time too, I joined MLM, right? Because the reason I joined MLM was I was going to Georgia State still at the time, and it's because I was wanting to be around people because I can't be alone. My thoughts start being things, all this sort of thing. I just need to be around people. That's the only reason I joined MLM, right? And during that time was ForEx trading and all these sort of things are going on. So so I went hard on that one too. Just to be honest, it wasn't about the income. People coming in say they made 50K a month. I'm like, man, I close deals, Also, I never said that, but I was always like, okay, I just need to be around people, right? And that helped me cope through depression and stuff. But the depression lasted 2 years, right? And then there was a moment in time too that I had to leave the company that I was in, that MLM company. I don't think I should even say the name, but and join another company, and I had to do an exit. So mind you, I was just in the MLM world because I don't want to hear nothing about real estate. Please don't talk to me nothing about real estate. I had a bad taste in my mouth. I'm trying to cope over it. I didn't look at nothing real estate related, nothing. I mean, you name it. So I did any hustle you could think of. I did it. I went to a place where I thought I was better than you don't know where I came from. You don't know what I was doing. And I can't go back to a job, right? I have to find another route. Maybe God told me, maybe I was supposed to be a diamond or gold or platinum or emerald. I was getting all means. I was recruiting crazy on social media. I used to get blocked every time on Instagram, just anything. I just needed something else, to make my name. I can't go down like this. And then so I launched another company that was from Dubai, tech company, when I left my other company. And I hit one of the ranks in like a record time. I was top 9 recruiter in the world. Mind you, the Spanish market was killing it, right? And I became top 9 recruiter in the world. That's when I knew because there was during the month I blacked out, meaning I didn't even know how I got it. All I knew, I did the work. I would forget to eat. I was in my aunt's basement at that time because I got evicted from that apartment that I didn't have the money for. I moved to my aunt's basement. Right, I spent a year and a half or 2 years in my aunt's basement in that cold weather. Had that room heater you buy in Walmart that you install and you plug in.
Yep.
Man, I remember
had many of those in my life. Yep.
Yeah, had to make $20 last a week. And sometimes I would ask my little sister to send me, let's say, $15, $20 just so I can get gas to go visit my parents just for that distance, right? So I did Uber Eats, did door-to-door knocking for political campaigns. You name it, I did it. Probably say right now I did it, right? So anything because I left the MLM, just left the industry alone, try to focus trading, and money did not basically I spent a lot of money on these challenges and all these sort of things. And one thing I did was okay, this one opportunity chance that I had was passing challenges, basically trading. So because I learned,
I've heard of those ForEx challenges.
Right? Forex challenges that you try pass, they fund you, let's say 100,000, 200,000.
Yeah.
And I master strategy. I would spend hours and hours and hours on mastering, the skill.
But those prop tech companies tend to all be scams, man.
Yeah, prop firm. I'm gonna get to it. So basically, this challenge, mind you, what I did was I pawned my car, my baby. This, mind you, I bought this car from my second subject to deal that I made 15,000, and I had money saved up in my bank account. Over 80,000-90,000 I saved up by that time, right? And I said, you know what? My mentor at that time told me, okay, you could buy something. And my dream was this was my coming to America dream car. It was a G37 Sports Coupe. It's my coming to America.
The Infinity, was that the Infinity?
Infinity, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
G37 Sport, right? I bought it cash 15,000 from a friend of mine. And mind you, this was the same friend by that time, we used to go to dealerships, visioning ourselves driving that car, sort of things. And I happened to buy $15,000 cash from him, and he bought another car. And this is my car. I love it, right? So I was forced to title the car to get 10,000 so I can buy more challenges because my back is against the wall. I have to make it work. Long story short, never got a payout. All the money in there. Now I have a car payment that's $1,000 a month. I don't have, right? I owe the person I borrowed the $10,000 from, which I'm their house right now, right? I'm right now. I should have visited them in DC right now, and yeah, so everything just going left.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting down because the friend I borrowed the 10K from, he need that money because of some legal reason. So he need the money. I don't have the money, right? So what do? I don't know. So I was sitting down like my back is against the wall. He was giving threats. I mean, you name it, right? I thought that was my last day. I sat down on the bed with my leg crossed over, and I prayed to God like I never prayed before. That was a month before I joined Astro, by the way. Pray to God like I never prayed before. And God gave me an idea. Boom, called a cousin of mine. And the cousin of mine was able to come through with that money. And I'm at that cousin's house right now doing this call with you. And he gave me the 10, paid back the 10. And long story short, I said, I'm going to pay him back in 3 months, the 10K, which I did. I paid him back the whole money per sum. So what happened was, so now, okay, Forex trading, something came in my mind. I said, Bella, go back to real estate. Because one mistake can decide my future, right? So I spent since 2019, I left the real estate industry. So 2023, I came back, I think. That's when I joined Astro. So I made a call. I called these twins, the people I sold a lot of deals to. I called them. I said, hey, it's me, Bella. I said, how's the market going? This was a conversation. How's the market going? They said, hey, market change every time, and right, because now just the post-pandemic market is different.
Yeah.
Right? There was the pre-pandemic, there's the pandemic, and there's the post-pandemic. So, they told me, we had a quick 15-minute conversation. That same night, I went to see another friend, right? His apartment. He had this one deal that he was having trouble selling, right? I said, all right, let me see the deal. Guy saw the deal. I assigned it to the twins that I talked to. Got a deal on the contract, closed on it. It was 15,000. Me and my friend split. I got the 7K, and that's how I joined Astro.
So you went all in.
Went all in.
How's it been since?
Been heavenly. I joined Astro. So after I joined Astro, I saw the community, right? It was something called agent outreach, right? Mind you, because I don't have money, right? The reason I joined Astro, I said, okay, this guy, Jamil Damji, he's talking about how can you get leads without having to spend money? Because all I knew was spending money. All these things about a joint venture, JVing a deal, this is all new to me. I've been doing this alone. You get what I mean? What do you mean you want to cut out my deal? You know what I'm saying? All this sort of thing, it was just like, what is going on? Everything was new to me, So I went to the course. Week 1 was my favorite because it was all about mindset, right? And stuff I needed to know because it was not, of course, yes, other things when it comes to was a little, not foreign, but I had to really touch up myself because I'm kind of rusty a little bit. You know what I mean? So touch up on certain things, but really what the money worth was the community, right?
For real. Yeah.
Because week 1 in the community, right? Because before you make anything, it's all mindset over everything. And mind you, coming from depression, coming from this hustle mindset. I mean, just that bitterness I had towards real estate. And God, just that same week, I decided to come back. God gave me a deal to close, and that was God letting me know, welcome back, like a welcome gift, right?
Mhm.
And I used that money to invest it back to the Jamil family. And long story short, the people I sold deal with because they knew who I was as a person, and they saw me work. They saw me even when I was hustling. They saw, and the funny thing, I had the same story as this Antoine and the twins and me. Right? So we three partners. We partners now, and now we killing it now. What we doing? But he told me his story, and we had the exact same story from all the way to my car then getting repoed.
Wow.
Exact same story. For driving trucks, as far as coming back home, as far literally to the T. The only difference was he lost way more money than I did, right? We're talking about 480,000, right? That he had to go back. So it's something that was more like a resignation of God saying, okay, I came back at the right time because they've been working on scaling, because these people they've been fixing flipping for a good minute. They know everything about fixing flips and all. They said they want to bring me in as a partner, and I just be in charge of acquisitions, right? And do what I do. Everybody has their role. So I'm in charge of construction management and all these sort of things. In charge of contracts. I'm just in charge of networking. And I see the Astro community, all these JV terms and all these sort of things. So I say, you know what? Okay, I'm in. Right. Long story short, we've been in the building process, getting things done, legals and all these sort of things, setting up boots on the ground and all these sort of things. But within just a slow period, got 7 deals on the contract, right? And those 7 deals closed on. We closed 7 deals together, and it was just and made 66,000.
Wow.
Right. And
Man.
the projection right now, just to be conservative, by the way, as a company, we projected in a couple months to make $250,000 a month.
Wow, dude.
Right. And all this to say it's so surreal because we scaling, right? Because right now because mind you, just been buying Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and also now scaling all these other states. And the reason I'm saying the community is because there's people in the community that are great in systems, right?
For real.
Like
Yep.
Nathan, for example. I actually had a call with Nathan yesterday about, because now because we have all sorts of marketing that we're doing when it comes to having cold call teams, buying for leads, and all these sort of things. So now it's like, okay, I need to add, because most of the deals also we're getting is wholesalers sending us deals, right? And the only thing that these wholesalers sending us deals, so I don't know if you see in the community, I'd always be posting, buy looking for deals, send my way, right? And they send me deals because our buy box is kind of different. We're only buying properties 1985s and up, right?
Yeah, I get
the reason
it.
for that is 1985 and up.
Because it's less of a remodel. It's like they're more lipstick. You're typically, the big ticket items don't need to be dealt with.
Sure, and probably fixing. They just fix it up from us. We don't have to worry about going retail, where retail markets kind of it have its own things right now. But wholesaling always been a thing, right? And so now we can do numbers with that buy box. So the goal, of course, is as many deals as possible. But the only issue is we always have to do DD period, right? Meaning these wholesalers, yes, they're sending us deal and all, but a lot of time too, as a wholesaler, you don't want to be tied up with your EMD money. Let's say buybacks out and all sort of things. So what we try to do was we send them EMD within 24 hours of binding, just to show we're serious on closing. Because a lot of times once you run our numbers, is always that unless we find somebody's some unexpected stuff in the property, right? That's the reason we focus on our buy box. And now it's like, okay, hold up, now I gotta add agent outreach, right? So and buying other VA, because most of the people on the team, they're all people on the ground. We have a system, we have a corporation set up like a corporate, because they spent over a year building it up, where we have people on the ground. We have a TC team, transactional coordinator, wants how to get a deal on the contract, they handle all. I just like building relationship and talking to sellers,
right?
Let's say direct sellers, for solving the problems, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the, hey, they're going through this. How can we fix this? Why do you need this? Why do you need to sell at that price? Asking the whys and all this sort of thing, because I enjoy it. I did MLM. I know how to close people. That's what I did. You know what I mean? So it was more having to manage a team of over 600 people. Trust me, I talk to all different type of people, right? And so, now we got wholesalers sending us deals, have people in the Astro community sending me deals, have people, because now we're buying where? Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas, Arizona, Texas. We're about to add Missouri and Alabama soon. But, having all these markets open, and just making sure we get quality deals and all those sort of things. But at the same time, the goal is to scale big, because this is only, I think, month one, and not even month two of when we open up the other markets. And, of course, right now is sales system building, and right now in this process of hiring other VAs to handle certain things when it comes to agent outreach. I haven't done one agent outreach yet, right?
Got to get there.
Got to get there, right?
Yep.
But the thing I said was, this is a family, this is a team where.
So they're mainly JV deals, which is, of course, also the Astro model. It's, our main methods: agent outreach, JV, MLS, well negotiated, 30, 60, 90, 120 day on market with deep discounts. So those, in my opinion, those 4 strategies, they cost you nothing, and they'll change your life.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing we did was, of course, at the end of the day, we got all the fundings we need. So we buy a lot of property, the deal, because we want to have controls over there, right? I think New Western does that. They buy their deals and have control, but we want to have control on the deal. So we always, position ourselves as the end buyer. You get what I mean?
Yeah, because you can close.
Yeah, because we could close, right? We close on them.
Yep.
If you want to fix and flip them, cool. If you want to offset it to our hedge fund partners, we could. If you want to hold it, sometimes some of them we do short-term rentals. Some of them we do fix and flip. Some of them we just offshore it to another investor. Some of them we do what we want to do, right? So that gives us control in a way. And let's say, for example, now we even right now, I'm meetings on meetings to make sure that our system is proficient. And thank God to the to stuff I know through your community, especially with the kills. Mahmoud, I did a call with Mahmoud. Mahmoud showed me his system.
Yeah,
and
he's great.
I'll be using that for wholesale outreach,
right?
Yep. Right. So you see, so that Mahmoud call one call with Mahmoud is already paid itself for the Astro membership.
Right. The community, dude, it's like nothing else I've ever seen, honestly. I'm proud of it. It's like one of those things where I look at it and I feel, because it's not just me, right? It's everybody. It's everybody doing a service to everybody, collaborative. It's the 3 C's: community, connection, and consistency. And the ones who are doing it in there, we got it. Right. And so that's what's going to get you there. And in Astro and the community, there's nothing like it out there, in my opinion. Nothing like it. Bella, I'm proud of you, bro. You have absolutely smashed it. You are you've walked the hero's journey. You're the prodigal son, come back to redeem himself and not only save the day, but I'm sure make your parents extremely proud for what you've been able to accomplish, for their sacrifices and bringing you here. Now, I'm sure there's people watching this right now who are thinking, man, Bella's got buyers all over the country. You got to get a hold of this guy. So how do people reach you, bro? What's the way to do business with you?
So they could DM me on Facebook, Bella Simaga, or they can follow me on IG.
Spell that for people.
BELLA and then Simaga, SIMAGA.
Amazing. And you want to give out your phone number?
My phone number, I'm gonna give out my phone number so they could when they DM me, please let me know what market they're in, so I know how to save them. So I'm gonna give them my business phone number. So that will be 678-716-7356.
There you have it, guys.
Yeah. And then on IG, Bella Simaga. So yeah, either way, just DM me, let me know what market you're in, and I'll DM you our buy box, and let's get deals together. And I appreciate this journey. I appreciate, the timing of everything, and I'm grateful for every single day, I'm on earth, and grateful to have people like you, in the circle. Of course, There's many deals to be done. You know, definitely doing deals with you, deals with. Actually, we closed a deal with Keegley, a land
Beautiful.
deal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was I think
It's
3 months
funny.
ago.
I make money I don't even realize I made
Yeah, we
sometimes.
did
But
close a deal with the Keegley Atlanta. We bought a land from them and all.
awesome.
But
Awesome.
yeah, so I enjoy what I'm doing. You know, now so my day to day is just fitness. You know, working out so I can get some momentum. That's why I have this Rich and Fit on. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we fit. You know, and you get rich to get fit, and at the same time, we fit because we get rich. So at the
There you
same
go.
time, is that's what I believe in, and just praising God every single day. Meditation that I learn, you know, uh, meditation that you go over every time, gratitude moment, gratitude sessions, and I've never been grateful ever in my life. I'm grateful for everything I've been through, you know. So I just appreciate the journey. I appreciate you guys, man.
Well, we love you back, brother. You deserve to be here. And for everybody who's watching this right now, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with somebody you love. Because if there's somebody out there right now who's going through it, they need a lifeline. And, you know, as we had said earlier in the show, you shine brightest when it's dark. We'll see you at the next one.